for nurses, front page of the Eye.
Yes, this has been the big row of last week. It seems to be pushing on because the NHS seems to be standing behind its nurses. This is essentially the 1% pay rise that's been offered to nurses. Obviously, they have been front and center of our consciousness over the past year with the pandemic, those extraordinary pictures of them working day and night, putting themselves on the front line. This obviously has to be taken in the context of the nation's finances, which are in a dire state. Other public sector workers are having a pay freeze, and there's not many other people around the country who are getting a pay rise at all. A lot of people are going to be lucky to have a job in the coming months. So I think we do have to put it in that perspective. But at the same time, I do think the British people recognise that a lot of our NHS staff, and particularly nurses, have just been really giving their all. And it's difficult to compare the work that they're doing to a lot of other private sector work, because there's a huge public mission behind it. And we know a lot of them have been working under extraordinary circumstances, particularly in that earlier part of the pandemic where they just didn't have the safe equipment they needed. So
yes.
I think the government is going to have a reckoning on this one. The only question is that they're going to stick to their guns.
Just quickly, we know Boris likes an infrastructure project, the Northern Ireland Tunnel. Really?
Boris Borough, as it is being coined by Britain's favourite newspaper tomorrow. Yes, it's a feasibility study. This is all part of an interconnecting the union. It's all part of strengthening the union, of making connections between the four nations of the union stronger. So there'll be a tax cut, essentially, for people that want to fly to Scotland or Northern Ireland, which sort of flies in the face of the government's green agenda, but I'm told they're going to plant lots of trees to offset that. But they are going to look at this idea that's been kicking around for a little while, which is a road tunnel between Ulster and Scotland via the Isle of Man. And actually, like the Garden Bridge and possibly the Thames Estuary Island before it, alarm bells will be ringing in some quarters, because taxpayers' money is now going to start going towards it, because they're going to do a feasibility.
I'm running out of time. The weather's terrible,
Oh, no.
so I've got to get to it. But thank you both very much indeed. Sophia, Harry, thank you.